everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. Today, I have Lisa Harrington. She's a wonderful healer that I met in Sedona at the Bridge conference about a month ago. And we're gonna have a great conversation just about her healing journey, about what she offers, also about whatever we want to talk about. So, welcome, Lisa.
Hey, Nee, thanks for having me.
Hey, no problem, no problem. So let's get right into it. Tell the viewers a little bit about what you do and what you're offering.
Okay, yeah, so I'm here in Sedona. I
Mm.
offer uh, healing services and intuitive coaching. I like to just refer to it as guidance. I offer several different packages for Vortex tours to experience the energy and to experience a Reiki session at a powerful Vortex location. Um, n- the locations that I bring people to are less known, so less traveled. So for more personal and, intimate uh, experience, protected as well. There's no guarantee that it's super quiet all the time because these places are known by other people. But it's definitely a lot less crowded than the popular major vortexes.
Very cool, very cool. And that's some powerful energy in Sedona, right? And you're bringing him to a vortex and doing healing. So that must be a pretty transformative experience for people.
Yeah, usually when I see someone who has written a review or have given me feedback, I pretty much experience heart well up, tearful well up in the eyes, and I have no words for the response. So
Mm.
I actually kind of feel bad that I don't respond to my reviews, but I get caught off guard because yeah, I'm just having such a wonderful time with amazing people that when they write that review and I read it later, I'm just blown away by their what they experienced. So
No.
yeah, it's important. I get out of the way. I let spirit, God, the divine, Father Sky, the creator, Mother Earth, whatever name you like to call it, work through, and whatever that person is seeking is what they're receiving.
Wonderful. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. Yeah. So there's some ego in the spiritual community where people want to promote themselves and be like, no, I'm awesome. But it's like really refreshing to see someone who just says like, no, I'm just gonna completely step out of the way and just let the spirit guide me. So
Thank you for noticing that. Don't get me started on the spiritual ego. I'm too much of a truth teller.
well, we need that now, right?
I know,
Uh,
I know. Yep,
yeah.
I just have learned to navigate a little softer. So,
Mhm. Mhm.
yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Oh, well, so I was curious because we had a great conversation prior to the interview, just about your story of your awakening. So I would love to really let the viewers kind of hear that what that was like for you.
Okay. All right. I'll do a little preface first, just so you have an idea. I don't have to reference it later. I am one of nine. I'm the second youngest. I think is an important factor in telling the story.
Mhm.
So my awakening story is 20 years ago. My father had had a massive heart attack, but was in an CCU unit in Boston, one of the best. Mass General is one of the best hospitals in the country. They were doing a new treatment to see if they could sustain and reverse or try to bring someone back from there because he didn't pass away. So he was lightly sedated and intubated, and they were trying different therapies. So the whole family was there. Again, I'm the second youngest of nine. So I had a few different experiences. I'm not 100% sure the recall of the order of these things, but I'm going to share what I recall.
Yeah, go for
So
it.
20 years ago, I was a veterinarian technician and a master certified dog trainer. So that was at that time, gosh, many years, probably almost 8 or 9 years of being a veterinarian technician. Um, so July 2005, my father ends up in the hospital with a heart attack. We all show up, and I remember pretty much immediately my family, even my uncles, which were my father's brothers, looking at me like, what the heck did this guy just say? The surgeon or the doctor. So I was put in this position of interpretation of some medical terms, and I did the best I could. I mean, I don't vet teching is totally different than human. So, I started to realize that people were relying on me to interpret what I could get out of what he said. And so that was kind of odd. I took a note to that, and we end up, they've got him kind of stabilized. We're all in this huge waiting room, big, huge floor to ceiling glass walls. And I remember having a moment where I'm looking out over the city of Boston, and this amazing, gorgeous red tail hawk is circling. And um, I looked at it, and somehow I knew my father was going to pass away. So I just want to let you know I did not know anything about spirit messages. I didn't know anything about, the spirit animals, what their meanings and symbols were, and how they represented, how they deliver messages. Um, Christian foundation, that's it. Religion.
Mhm.
So when I looked up at the hawk and I felt that so strongly, I didn't overthink it. And we fast forward to a few opportunities where people are like, let's get together and pray. And all of a sudden, we're in this big circle. My uncles, my entire family, again, youngest, second youngest. And someone yells out, you pray, you lead the prayer. Like,
Mhm.
wait, what? I literally remember thinking, wait, what is going on here? I've got 7 other brothers and sisters older than me. Why is this falling on me? So I did. I led the prayer. My grandmother, my Nana, shows up. That's my father's mother. She pulls us girls aside, this me and 2 sisters, and she looks at me. We're grouped up, and she says, "Your father's not staying." And I looked at my Nana and I said, "I know."
Mhm.
How did I know? I don't know. My 2 other sisters, I don't think were present in that little I know moment.
Mhm.
So, um, it's a little foggy how many days this took place. I don't remember if it was 1 or 2 days or 3 days. I don't remember. That's the foggy part because there's so many mixed emotions. You have to leave the hospital, you go back, all that stuff. Your whole life is put on pause for a family medical emergency. And so because he was in CCU, critical care unit, they weren't allowing us all to go in there at the same time because the unit had other critical people. So they would let us go in one at a time. And so you can imagine like almost last in line. So I finally get my opportunity to be by my father's side. And I'm praying, having a conversation. I'm talking to Jesus and I'm holding his hands with both my hands.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden, my hands start to feel very strange, which I know what that feels like now. So, a vibration, a tingle, the warmth. And I remember literally opening my hands, holding his hand, looking down, looking at him and saying out loud, Jesus, why do I feel like I could heal him?
Mhm.
And I
Powerful.
remember, yeah, and I remember moving to his head and then back to but I think I still had my one hand connected. Yeah. I feel like he heard me because he was lightly sedated. His eyes were closed. And of course, he's intubated. And mouthed something to say something to me. And it hit me right in the chest emotionally. And I felt this need to be stoic and this need to be strong for him. So i- before I let out and started crying, I pulled away and I left the room and that was my last moment with him. And so that was like, I had all these series of things play out. And then I have to say, as um, we're planning the funeral. We're trying to plan everything. My father gave my older brothers, special instructions, old school. hiding money in closets and clothes and all kinds of stuff in the
Mhm.
in the house.
Yep.
So my two brothers went and did what they were told to do, and
Mhm.
then we all split up and did different tasks. And I remember going with my brother uh, to pick out the grave place cemetery. When I got there, red tail hawk
Mm.
flying around, and I took note. And I was like, "Hey, look at that! I saw that when we were in the hospital." And so some of the arrangements are taken care of, and we reach this place um, where it's time. My brothers and sisters, the older ones, say, "Hey, everyone, gather up at so and so's house. We're gonna give everyone a little piece of the cash that's what's left." And they did. They told us as we all got together. They told us they counted it 3 times, and they took the cash and separated it, and it equaled 1934 for each of us. That's the year of my father's birth.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Powerful. Yeah. It's amazing.
Now, in the crazy chaos of the experience of, losing a loved one, we eat a lot of takeout. For some reason, we were getting Chinese food a lot.
Mhm.
I forgot to look for the fortune cookie. I still had the little message.
Mhm.
But the message we got 2 or 3 times
Mhm.
in different meals, um, you know, something to do with, your healing is the deeper you understand, the easier it is to you, or something of that nature. Um, so the uh the the hindsight, when you sit and you reflect, and I'm having all these duties fall on my lap, I was just it was almost like I was taking all these mental notes to go back to. And so it's post burial. Now it's time to go to his home, grab all his items that we're allowed to retrieve so that we can all have a little bit of a piece of what he collected,
Mhm.
things like that. Um, my father was a 40-year veteran of firefighting, retired as a deputy chief, forced retirement, deputy chief,
Mhm.
and an instructor at the academy for probably 38 years.
Mhm.
And so he liked to collect the little die cast fire trucks and some other items and all kinds of little challenge coins and really neat stuff. So I collected everything, uniform, shirts, everything. Spread it all over my house, and I had my whole family over, and we drew numbers, and we went into an order, and we all got our turns to go through and pick something that we thought was special. And as I was setting up the room, my German Shepherd at the time was all of a sudden started to go crazy barking at the wall.
Mm.
And I've had experiences throughout my life, so I was almost afraid to look. Um, so I kind of glanced, acknowledged, and looked back. I was putting up a big ladder on a fire truck, and I just sent this message out by thought, like, "Dad, don't worry, we're gonna take care of your stuff," as I'm
Mhm.
putting up the ladder to this little truck. And the dog stopped barking. So I was still a little unsure of having that ability to see, and I still had a little bit of fear back then. Probably a lot of fear. And yeah, so that was some of the experiences. Yeah, so when I sat and I was starting to reflect on this, okay. So somewhere along the way, my family started to share that the first night, the first rest, the first sleep, um, my father visited everybody. But before I went to bed, I remember standing in my room and I said out loud, looking at down the hallway towards the stairway, and I said, "Hey, Dad, I know some of my gifts. I'm a little scared. Please don't scare me. Don't creak the floors. Don't come too close. I'm not ready for it. You know, that kind of thing." And I kind of put out a boundary. And that's part of some grieving process. That night, he went to everybody else who wasn't aware of their gifts and probably still aren't to this day. And he whispered in their ear, "I'm sorry, I love you."
Mm, beautiful. Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, dang it, man. I didn't have that experience because it put this big boundary because I knew I saw as a kid and I would break me out."
Mhm.
Um, yeah. So, yeah, that was 20 years ago,
Oh,
July
wow.
2005.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah,
So,
yeah, that's interesting because your story kinda reminds me a little bit of my story when my dad passed away.
mhm,
Because at that point, I was well along in my journey, but it literally was like, well, when he passed, like, everyone came looking to me like, "Okay, well, what do we need to do?" And
right.
yeah, and I just kinda knew it. I'm just like, "Okay, we're gonna, like, sage the space, we're gonna sage everyone." Yeah, everyone else was, like, kinda, like, crying and just losing it. And I was just sitting there like, "Well, I already kinda know where you went." And I was, like, holding it together, kinda similar to you, like, we kind of have this understanding of when people are gonna go. And
Mhm,
then when they do leave, we kind of understand, like, also, like, where, like, that it's not really over, that
mhm,
there's still gonna be a connection, there's still gonna be a way to talk to people. That connection's not really gone, they're still there, they're still helping us? So,
mhm. Thank you
yeah.
for sharing that because that reminds me of another experience right after he passed and let go.
Mhm.
So
Go
we
for it.
gotta go backwards. Where he's passed away, and strangely enough, they let us all in the CCU, and
Mhm.
his room was off to my right. The nurse's desk is behind me. My family is just losing it. I remember one of my brothers is sitting down on something. He was down on the floor, just losing it, like borderline anxiety attack.
Mm.
And I remember the nurse walking over to me because I don't know what I looked like to her, but she came over to me and she goes, "Are you okay?"
Mhm.
And I said, "Yeah, why?" Like, I'm totally like, "Yeah, why?"
Yeah, yeah.
And she's like, "Well, you're not acting right." I said, "It's okay. I know where my father is." Now,
Yeah.
the difference between you sharing your story and mine is, again, I was in a moment of awakening and remembering.
Mhm.
So, what I was experiencing was this amazing energy.
Mm.
It was the most ultimate, loving, calming, peaceful energy
Mhm.
in the space I was standing, glancing over at my father's body,
Mhm.
glancing at my family, and standing there with not a single tear, but just enveloped in the purest love possible.
Mm,
And that's
yeah.
why the nurse came over like, "Are you okay? You're
Yeah.
scaring me." And I'm like,
Mhm.
"No, I'm fine. I know where he is."
Mhm. Mhm.
Believe me, I lost it. I
Mhm.
completely lost it. Grieved the hardest I've ever cried, ever grieved at that time in my life, ever. It's the
Mhm.
most grief ever. Um, yeah, when I finally lost it, we were in the middle of the woods. So
Mhm.
nature was holding me then.
Oh, beautiful.
Mhm.
And do you think that's kinda shaped, your healing practice, like, going into nature and using the power of nature for its healing abilities? Yeah.
Yeah, without getting too much into other stories, maybe another time. But yeah, 2014, I left Massachusetts, went to Florida, and then in 2015, I started a life in an RV.
Mm,
So I hit the road and I started to volunteer and of course when you're living in an RV, you're ending up in the woods, you're ending up in the forest, you're ending up in nature. So in 2016, I came up with the name Healing with Nature because when I left Massachusetts, I had every bit of my intentions and heart and mind set on this is my healing journey. And I dubbed it Love's Journey, Follow Your Heart.
mhm,
So I do, that was my original Facebook name for my page. Now is my business page. I've kept it and merged it.
mhm,
So Love's Journey, Follow Your Heart is the journey back to loving you.
mhm. Wonderful.
So yeah, so there was this moment I came up with the healing with nature and realized this is exactly what I'm doing is I'm tapping into the energy and I'm healing with nature.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, it's you look back and you're like, whoa, it Hindsight 2020 is really clear. It's probably 2015. Um, so you look back and you're like, how pretty cool is that? So I'm in the middle of nature coming up with that name and I'm healing with nature. And every time I got really, really hard, I lived in the middle of the forest.
Mhm,
I lived in the mountains. I lived near water.
mhm.
I'd hit a trail. I'd go kayaking, you know, and just ground into the energy. And that, so I do believe, by the way, I tell people this on my tours slash experiences is you can ground and heal with nature anywhere. Sedona and other places across the world are uniquely charged up because of the vortexes. So it's kind of like if you're a car person and you know that, it's you got your 4 to 6 cylinder range, it's got to get up and go. You can ground with it, you can get moving with it. But when you come to Sedona, you got a turbocharged, maybe it's computer chipped, and you can now hit, speeds, like 120 miles an hour instead. So
That's what yeah, that's what I noticed about Sedona. It feels like a giant accelerator, right?
definitely, I love the word that you just used with me with my car reference.
Mhm,
It definitely accelerates everything.
mhm.
So some people are embraced and are just held by the space, and you're meant to be here. And then some people come and visit, get what they need, and leave. And then some people think they have to come for some reason, and then it can just expose everything at a faster pace than you're ready for.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
And some people cut out and get out early and
mhm. Yeah.
hopefully come back. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah, and I guess it really depends where people are in their journeys, right? So if someone's like
Hmm.
really stuck in a lot of fear and pain and things like that, and a lot of trauma patterns, all that stuff's going to come up to the surface the longer they stay in Sedona. I know. Well, one of my friends, he was on his own healing journey and had a lot of stuff to work through, but he couldn't stay in Sedona for more than like a couple days. He's like, I got to get out, you know?
Yeah, I witnessed it from my own experience and witnessed it with other people that are here long term. So I definitely um was aware of it going, whoa, okay, we need to approach this differently because this is all amplified. It's amplifying their negativity. We need to make sure we don't amplify their negativity by flashing into their negativity or flashing back and mirroring, it's almost like de-escalation tactics. You basically recognize, oh, they're in an amplified triggered space. We need to come softer, bring more love, bring more grace, and see if we can soften the energy in this time with them. But sometimes they're just in a place where they're so blasted that you've got to take space and you can't, if they don't recognize they need to leave, you've got to walk away and say,
Mhm.
hey, I can't I can't do this.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's true
Yeah.
with a lot of other facilitation. I've noticed too with when I work with clients, yeah, sometimes all their stuff's coming out, but I'm like, okay, I can help you, but as much as I can, but sometimes it's best to just like step away a little bit and let them process. You
Hmm.
know? Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Hmm. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, but Sedona's amazing. Um, I bring people basically, I use my intuition even to bring people to where I'm gonna bring them.
Hmm.
So, everything is kind of on a very flow type energy,
Hmm.
you know? I inspire gratitude throughout the whole tour. Gratitude is a very powerful manifesting practice. Um, I inspire people to give back to the land before we experience the energy. I think it's really important that we've lost touch and saying thank you for everything.
Hmm.
Um,
Absolutely. Yep. I agree.
so gratitude to the earth, sending love, sending healing if you are a healer, but the intention of sending love and gratitude to the earth, which provides us everything we need on the larger scale, industrial level scale, let's stop taking it for granted and start sending love and start taking care of the spaces. Because when we take care of the land amplifies.
Hmm.
So I don't know if I told you this on our last conversation that some of the major vortexes can actually feel pretty flat,
Mm.
especially after a peak season of visitation. So
Oh,
there's,
okay.
because not everybody's aware to give back. So can you imagine to those toxic relationships or friendships or family members you had to walk away from in your journey.
Mhm.
Mother Earth ain't going anywhere. So the ones who are aware need to send love on an amplified level after a peak season because everybody just took.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
Yeah. Mhm.
So I'll throw in the I was a ranger before, so leave no trace.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go. Yeah.
Please don't stack rocks.
Yeah, you had quite a few interesting jobs in your life too. You said you're a ranger. You also
Yes.
worked law enforcement for a while too, correct? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
How are those experiences?
So it was all in one. So I was a volunteer ranger starting in 2016 out in North Carolina. I got to help care for a campground and roam the trails. It's referred to as PSAR, which is protection, search, and rescue. And PSAR is part, or the protection part is prevention. So approaching people, hey, do you got enough water? Did you start your hike? Go grab your water. You got the right shoes on. And just making these contacts. So you're the friendly ranger that comes in and says, hey, do you got all your stuff? All right, go have fun. Be careful. Is
Mhm.
your phone charged? Just all these reminders. And then being a part of the team when there's a rescue. So that started in 2016. I was a volunteer.
Mhm.
Hence give back, volunteer.
Mhm.
And then I got a random call to come out to Sedona. So Sedona called me.
Mhm.
So Sedona invited me, and the timing was perfect. We can get into that conversation another time.
Mhm.
So the timing was perfect. I came out here. It was the end of 2017 September, that I was invited out here to live at a Hopi cliff dwelling location to offer protection, guidance, run the visitor center, do the tours. They were all free except for your parking pass. And I lived in a 150-acre amazing place. So it closed at 3:30 in the afternoon, and we didn't open till 9:30 in the morning.
Mhm.
So I had this beautiful sacred space to be in Sedona. So, and that's a heritage site for the U.S. Forest Service, and that is protected similarly like a national park.
Mhm.
So no companies can do tours there. It's technically illegal. So they'd have a system in place. I got to live there. I had my
Wow.
first UFO experience there. I
Mhm.
was healing there. So it was amazing part of the journey.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. So then I went off on more adventures and did PSAR, which is the Protection Search and Rescue at Bryce Canyon. I lived at Bryce Canyon in Utah. Let's dial back. I lived in Flagstaff at the cliff dwelling called Walnut Canyon. Worked at Wapaki and Sunset Crater, both very powerful places. Had some random passings of guests in full uniform, not the law enforcement yet, in full uniform, and
Mhm.
realized I'm on duty right now for something else. And this woman was telling me everything right in the minute we crossed that. I went
Mhm.
in for a hug. The energy came flying through me. I whispered in the ear, hey, by the way, you're receiving energy healing. I'm a healing energy can do it. Um, and she backed off the hug and went, "Oh my God, I prayed for this. My grandfather was a healer."
Mm.
Um,
Wonderful.
so yep. And then that led me after the search and rescue rangering job, which was volunteer. I went and put myself through EMT school, became certified EMT, got on the waiting list for law enforcement ranger for the national park, passed the academy. That was very intense. And did my first season at Yellowstone National Park as a federal law enforcement ranger. Very intense part of my journey. And took a break after that season, went back to Wind Cave, South Dakota. Got there and was like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? I already
Yeah.
kind of knew I wasn't going to do this anymore
Mhm.
because my passion was to protect the land and the animals. It wasn't to do 100% police work. And there are some parts that you are a ranger, not just police. That's what the whole title is, a multifaceted type. You show up and provide the rescue, the trail, the happy ranger, the friendly
Mhm.
ranger. But what these jobs ended up was just strictly law enforcement. So I chose to change my mind. It's my journey.
Mhm.
And I came back to Sedona and was asked, hey, you should go into business here. And I said, no, no, I don't want to. There's too many charlatans here. I don't want to be a part of that. So I literally said that. Yeah. And
Yeah.
the universe works in funny ways. God was like, oh, really? So I got a tour guide job and
Mhm.
realized immediately what I was supposed to be providing on tours and being able to reach people and
Mhm.
have them seek healing services. And boom, 3 years later,
Mm,
I'm doing
wonderful.
healing with nature, vortex healing tours.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Sometimes you have to have those experiences in order to know what it is you really meant to do. Right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love that you asked because every single thing I've learned in my entire life is
Mhm.
important when you show up to hold space for someone.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because I feel like I remember saying this with talking to you the other day is, what I appreciate about us having the conversation is that we understand each other.
Mm, yes.
And that's
Yes.
based on your experience, my experience. I know when you say I understand you, I know that you really do.
Mm, thank you.
So
Yes.
there's a deep value in that. So I've walked quite a road. Um, so I feel like I can say I understand a lot. So
Mhm. Oh, well, thank you. Yes, that means a lot. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, it is. Yeah. And it's very important to just be able to put everything else aside and just be like, yeah, I get you. I
mhm,
understand. Yeah.
right. Because if I
Hmm.
haven't experienced it, then all I can do is have like this, I don't know, sort of kind of empathy, but not a full understanding.
Hmm. Hmm.
So the person doesn't want to be consoled by you. Does that make
Mhm.
sense?
Yeah, it makes total sense. Yeah, because
Yeah.
if you haven't been through it, then people are gonna pick up on it when you're trying to help them. Yeah, and that's what makes all the different people and that we meet. It makes it so important to respect and honor those perspectives. Because there might be something that I encounter that like I can't really help this person with this. Because I haven't really experienced that. Like I haven't experienced like marriage and divorce or like that sort of thing. So I can't really speak to that,
Mhm.
and that's why we need all these different healers and different perspectives because someone's going to resonate with that experience. Yeah, and yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
I totally agree. I don't believe in competition because of what the point you're making.
hmm
To-
exactly, exactly. Yeah.
y- Totally perfect the way you said that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and that's another thing that's really important. I think especially in the spiritual community and the way the business is evolving going forward in its next coming age is like we're getting away from that competitive cycle, right? We're getting away from the cycle like I have to be better than so and so, or I got to take the money, or like well we get the clients or whatever like that, and we just have to like really understand that there's more than enough to go around,
Hmm.
and we have to start breaking away from that scarcity mindset because that's what fuels like the competition. And if we're always competing with each other, then no one really wins, right? But if we collaborate with each other and recognize everyone's intrinsic value, then that's how we all rise up.
Right. And in basically, like when you say that, it's like we're team.
Hmm.
Competition is ego.
Exactly.
So
Hmm.
if we're getting out of the way and we're on our mission, we're of service, which I am fully dedicated. I am of service.
Hmm.
And the minute a client, actually, I like to refer them as my guest. The
Hmm.
minute I have a guest that shows up, whether they're doing a medicine walk or a full tour, healing tour experience, or a session online, it's gratitude. Thank you. And hey, I'm really grateful to be of service to you right now. Let's get started.
Hmm.
You know, and it's kind of like it keeps you in check.
Hmm.
Because we are here having a human experience, and as we grow, we learn how can we integrate our ego to be healthier?
Hmm. Hmm.
Because you don't want to technically drop your ego completely.
Exactly, exactly. Because we need it. We need it to be able to experience the world, right?
Yeah, I feel like that's that's when you know you're showing up. You know, it's not about the dollar sign. I actually value time
Hmm.
more than the dollar sign.
Perfect. Yeah.
Time is more valuable
Hmm.
because we are on a plane that time is a factor.
Hmm.
Now, when you start getting into the mode of not really caring about your clock and caring about the time, I don't even know what day it is. My calendar tells me. Like, I don't know what time it is. I don't know what day it is. I'm just going with the flow.
Oh,
So,
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, but we are in that time experience. So
Hmm.
to me, um, when I show up, I'm valuing how much time I can give to the person and how much they need. It's
Hmm.
it's it's energy.
It is. Yeah. Because the monetary system is not the best system. I like your point where it really does come to time and being in service. Because like when I look at the healing work that I do, it's good to have the energy exchange. But even if I wasn't getting like paid for this, I would still be doing it because
Mhm.
one, it's actually kind of fun, and it's rewarding. Like because people need the services that you offer, and and you can see the benefit in their lives. And we're doing this for the all really. Yeah.
Mhm. Oh yeah, no, I love what I do. I'm passionate. I love being outdoors.
Hmm.
I love the interaction. There's times that a guest will show up. I'll share real briefly. I had a guest show up from Ireland. They could have been like my mother and grandmother. I think that's what the age was. And within a few minutes of the start, they had me welling up and in tears because it was this overwhelming, amazing love that they were my family.
Mm, yeah.
And to me, I'm like, hey guys, cut it out. I'm of service to you right now. I have to function. So make me cry.
Yeah.
So even though it's loving tears, it's not sadness.
Mhm,
But yeah, I was thrown off by that's one of many opportunities that I get. And I love that word lately, by the way, opportunity.
mhm,
Um, that I have the opportunity to serve, be passionate, doing something I love, control my schedule, control my rates. I actually don't charge enough. I have a lot of people that tell me, you're not charging enough for how much you put out. And I'm like, hey, that's for me to decide.
mhm,
That's for me to decide. When I'm in that flow, I'm in the flow. This is where I'm at. This is where it feels good. Um, so yeah, so and then, meeting fellow warriors and fellow healers and that opportunity to say, "Hey, I see you," and them to
mhm.
say it back is just very powerful.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the most rewarding things I found when I started following this healing path is one like you said, well, when you meet these clients, I have to put the ego aside and be like, I'm here to help a client heal from their issues. But like when you're talking to someone who's intelligent and mature and and has a certain level of awareness. And so then when you're helping them, they're also healers in their own right. So they're giving back to you like as well. And on top of that, there's just the community of people out there who are healing and being being the warriors. And they're just it's been an amazing experience of meeting that community.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I agree with that. It's a little hard after an event like when we met in Texas at the bridge, but I've saw you in passing at both the Rise of the Guardians in Sedona and the I don't remember the title of the one in Bastrop.
Mhm.
Um, so I know I saw you at both, all of them. So
Yeah,
it's just a matter that we connected finally in Texas at the bridge. So
absolutely.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's kind of hard to come back and go, huh? I was just with well, we all work really hard. So
Mhm,
we're all
mhm,
in this really fast-paced work
mhm.
on many levels, by the way.
Oh yeah.
And it's really hard to stop and have a conversation. So I'm glad we finally broke through and said, hey, let's stay connected and try to have the conversation. So
Absolutely. Yeah, I feel the same way. Yeah. Yeah, because those conferences are great, but there's there's so much activity going on, and you said on many levels, we have
mhm.
you have the conference and then you have all the energetic layers on top of the conference that we're processing and, helping people with, whether they, whether they recognize that we're doing this work or not, so it's,
Right.
yeah.
I
And that's,
agree.
oh yeah,
Many may not even know what we're doing,
absolutely. Yeah.
but it changes their life, and that's amazing.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
And I say that with uh, sometimes us warriors are sitting there going, "Whoa," you know, we're feeling it, we're processing it, we're
Mhm.
transmuting it, we're doing the work, and but we don't get the follow up story,
We don't. Yeah. We
like
just, mhm,
you know what I mean? Because so many people cross your path, my path.
mhm,
You know, I pray and hope that I made some kind of positive shift
mhm.
because that's why I wanted to show up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then you don't get the follow-up story to find out, you know what I mean? Where are they
Yeah.
at?
Yeah.
I kinda like those kind of stories, do you know what I mean?
I do. Yeah, me too. It's interesting because at a certain point, like I just had to like trust that people are getting like whatever they needed to get out of the session or just the passing. I don't know if you feel this too, but like sometimes I feel like while I'm walking down the street, like make eye contact with someone, and it's just like something in passing, right? And I know there's
Yeah.
like some kind of energy exchange. I know that like it's probably gonna like just have like some kind of like impact on them, whether they realize it or not. But it was just like a very simple exchange. And to your point, like, I would love to hear that follow-up story, like, what actually shifted for him.
I can attest from that I have 2 parts to that.
Mhm,
I would apply that even on my hardest days. On my hardest days, I would still smile at people, try to
mhm,
give eye contact, and
yeah,
try to show up.
mhm,
Now on the hardest days, to get that smile back or to have someone smile first,
mhm,
how many lives do you think we saved?
mhm,
Because I know someone saved my life.
mm, yeah, yeah,
So I have the 2 perspectives from it.
mhm,
I had the intention that I was gonna show up and do that anyway,
mhm, mhm,
but I don't think people realize, even with 2 strangers passing, how powerful it is to just share a smile and eye contact
mhm,
or
absolutely.
hold the door open.
Yeah. I grew up in or outside of Philadelphia, and, Philly is they
It's
call it
rough.
yeah, it's tough here, it's very dense, and, like, a lot of people don't, like, make eye contact, like, you'll just pass people on the streets, and they'll just completely, like, ignore you, and it's, like, endemic here, Well, once in a while, someone would say hello in passing, I'd be like, "Whoa, that actually felt really good." You know?
I was
Yeah.
outside of Boston,
Mhm,
um, but, I mean, nowadays, that I bet you my hometown would be probably what you're describing, just not as intense as totally huge city because it's one of the suburbs, but it's city, you know?
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
hey, and I know that when I share the story of, the woman that came and started sharing her stresses and her hurts and stuff with me as I'm a D Ranger in full uniform, not the law enforcement, but
Mhm.
full uniform. I literally glanced at the camera like, "Uh-oh, I'm on. Hope nobody's watching," because I knew I was on for higher power. I knew that I was on duty for something else.
Mhm, mhm,
I did wonder after because she did share with me she had a very serious diagnosis. Um, and I remember feeling like, God, I wish I would know, how that played out.
mhm.
Um, but what I came to terms with is she was seeking, so therefore she was healed.
Mm, okay.
I have no power in it.
Mhm.
And this is I love this. I always tell this to people. I'm from Boston. Don't call anyone a tool, but I'm a tool for the divine.
Yeah.
I am totally a tool for the divine.
Mhm, mhm,
So it's literally just show up, be of service, and the person seeking is the one receiving the healing, initiating the healing. It's all about that. Now, is the
mhm.
power coming through us powerful? Yes, but it's coming through us, not from us.
Exactly. Mhm,
And, so to me, it's like I'm passionate. I'm full of faith. I'm full of the love, probably full of some other stuff, but
aren't we all?
yeah, right. But yeah, gotta love your shadow. Anyway,
Yeah. Yep.
yeah. So, Yeah, so I just know that I show up and I just trust what I'm being guided to do, and to be a witness to these transformations when I am seeing what I'm seeing, and then to hear the review after is just like, oh wow,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, again, I guess a review is a little bit of a part of the story.
It is, yeah. Yeah, 'cause,
Yeah,
like yeah, 'cause people don't necessarily have to post that
right.
review. Yeah, but when they do, it's very encouraging, because it's like,
Mhm,
this work is actually, like, making a difference, you know?
mhm. It is. It's totally, totally awesome. So,
Mhm,
um, but yeah, that's something that I still fondly reflect back, and I'll never forget that experience.
mhm. Yeah.
So it didn't happen as much when I was law enforcement because that was a whole different level of gnarly,
Mhm, mhm. Yeah.
intense, and really hard part of the journey. And physically, it was taking a massive toll. I was withering away. My size was changing. I was shrinking to nothing. I actually was so tiny and frail looking, because of all the weight loss that I experienced.
Oh, geez,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
but that journey, so a lot of what I just described, by the way, on the travel journey, I did that by myself solo.
Wow, wow. Yeah,
So
that's
no
yeah.
no family, no friends, nobody to lean on, just me and every bit of spirit team.
Mhm, mhm. You made a good point. Like, in the law enforcement, you're kinda withering away. I remember, like, watching a video just about, like, people who are living their purpose and people who aren't, right? And when you're living your purpose, it's like you feel rejuvenated and full of joy and, like, you wanna be out there and be like, doing what you wanna do,
Mhm,
doing what you're gonna do, and it's actually very, like, nourishing to your spirit, right? And then your
mhm,
body kinda responds to that. Just people, they look better, they have more mobility, they yeah, all the good things, right?
mhm.
Because I was thinking back to when I was, before my awakening, I was working in, technology. I was in the consulting field for, like 15 years, and it was the same thing. Like, if you saw me then, I looked like I was about 10 years older than I am now. So it does make a difference when you actually, like, living in your purpose. You'll feel a lot better. People reported, like, they actually look, like, a lot younger. They could have more vitality, like, all these different things. Then we're actually doing the thing that you're meant to do, that makes you happy, you know?
Yes, yes. The passion was there, the drive was there was a reason for it,
Mhm,
but when I realized that I'm withering away,
mhm,
it was like, "Is this really good for me anymore?" And that's the part about it's important to check in with yourself,
mhm, absolutely.
you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, because I guess that would come back full circle to the Sedona topic.
Mhm,
If Sedona is if you're here and it's ripping you to pieces, take a break.
mhm, mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which your
Yeah.
friend was very wise in knowing to listen to that inner voice, listen to the body, listen to your intuition, and know, okay, I've got to step out and then come back. I can take this in doses. That's awesome.
Mhm,
So, and I don't want people to realize, like, to actually, I don't want people to think that, oh my God, there's something wrong with me and I'm not worthy to be here.
mhm,
No, it's that why would you take the hardest amplified, "Oh, let's face everything all at once and dive head first," when it could break you even harder than what
mhm.
is necessary.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
That's
not a
really
"I'm not worthy," it's a
mhm,
there's a process that is what is perfect for you.
perfect. Yeah, well, that's really well said. Yeah, because it's such an intense energy there. It's not for everyone, and sometimes you have to take a step back or just do it in doses, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah, because I remember, like, after that Rise of Guardians in April, by the time the conference was over and, like, all the work was done, because I did the Vortexes, I actually did a healing journey for some of my friends. After that was done and all the activations, everything like that, I literally felt like the city was, like, kicking me out, you know? Where
You
it's like
like, you "Alright, you're done. Go."
it's like, "You're done for now. Go back and integrate," you know?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, and it's funny because it's the total opposite for me now. I've been here a total of 6 years, and, I think the math's right, um, and I can't leave Sedona.
So you got a purpose there now. Yeah.
Well, it's weird because if I go and travel, and I even to go to the next town over,
Mhm.
It is like for the sensitive empaths that have to stop going to Walmart,
Hmm.
leaving Sedona is like me going to Walmart.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you're used to like the higher frequency now, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So when so if you leave town, do you feel the density of it?
It's everything. It's I need to make sure I'm shielded. I need to make sure, I've got this great massive energy bubble, however you want to create it.
Hmm.
And I literally have to prepare like I'm going into battle.
Mm, yeah.
And
Yeah.
literally.
Mhm. Yeah.
And yeah, so there's times where I'll cloak.
Hmm.
Like I am going to disappear. Nothing can see me.
Hmm.
And I use that technique occasionally. And then there's times where I know that I gotta put protection, shield up, and I'm
Hmm.
going to work as I
Hmm.
leave Sedona's boundary.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. When I came back home from Sedona, like going from Sedona to Philly was intense. Like I literally felt like I was getting run over by a truck or something like that. The difference in density was like
Mhm.
so intense. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
So,
And then and coming back from leaving,
mhm.
it's like it's like days of recovery. It's like,
Yep. Yep.
what the heck did I do? Oh yeah, I just left town.
Yeah, yep,
Yeah.
just left town. Yeah, you bring that Sedona energy like wherever you go, and then like
Yeah.
you're also picking up whenever weird stuff is where you're going.
Yes, then I have to come back and I have to bring it to the specific places to dump it off
Mhm.
and transmute it. And so that's always, and believe me, I've had these moments where I'm driving the highway and I'm like, oh my God, I just want to go home, crawl into my bed. And I'm like, no, no, I need to go to to the mesa. I need to clear. I need to transmute all this stuff and, send it off. Here you go. This is get it off of my energy field. Thank you very much.
Yep, yep.
And there's times I'm driving, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta go there. Jeez, like I'm so tired.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
if I don't, then I'm not gonna rest.
yeah. The Mesa Vortex is really accessible. So I remember on any given trip, I'd end up at the airport Mesa like around like 3 or 4 times, during that trip. Just yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. And it's like uh, I came back from Texas and I was like, oh, thank God I'm in Sedona. It was
Yep, yep.
like it was such a like this, oh, I'm home.
Mhm,
Now there are places, don't get me wrong, there are places I can go that are expansive nature. I
mhm,
love going to Colorado and I love, the hot springs and Durango and Pagosa Springs and basically anywhere in the mountains, anywhere in the forest, I can go and I don't have to feel like I got to detox
mhm,
necessarily. Now I do grid work too.
mhm,
So there may be times where I'm clearing the land and have to clear anyway.
mhm,
But there's a difference between connecting to all of the nature and just having this symbiotic, beautiful balance with the energy because I'm sending so much love in that
mhm.
moment, so much healing and love
Yeah.
to amplify that space that it's like it's just shared hug. It's a
Mhm.
big giant shared energy hug.
Big hug with nature. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mother Earth. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And all this, all the spirits of the land.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's pretty awesome. So yeah, there are places I can go and I'm okay. Like not like, but cities are dense.
Oh, they're so intense. Like I had to move out of my place in the city as I was awakening because then you just get more sensitive to it. And then after a while, it's like, no, I need to be out in like the countryside, just get away from that density. And even out here, it's like, it's still like pretty dense compared to Sedona, but it's not as nearly as bad as the city. Yeah.
Right. No, I could totally understand that.
All right. Thank you for all this wonderful information, Lisa. It's great to have you on the show. And we're just about to wrap everything up. So if you'd like to tell us where everyone can find you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Oh, and totally love this conversation, this opportunity. I am really deeply grateful. So thank you, Nee.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Grateful to
Um,
have you here, Lisa. This is a really great interview.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll explain. Literally it's amazing feeling right now. So thank you.
Oh, well,
Um,
thank you. Mhm,
People can reach me at my website www.healingwnature.com.
mhm.
So I couldn't get the with. It was already taken out there somewhere or
Mm,
whatever.
okay.
So it's www.healing, the W, nature.com. Now, if you reach the website and you find the phone number, which I'm not going to put on here, um, please text. Texting is preferred. I had to put call filters all the way up to extreme high because all I'm doing is getting slammed with spam and scams.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
same, same.
yeah, so my call filter's on super high. If you're not programmed in my phone, it goes straight to voicemail. I never hear it. So please text me or on the WhatsApp app too. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I do have an Instagram. I sent it to you for the links.
Hmm. Okay. All right. So all the links will be included in the description. So anyone out there, if you're looking to book an amazing healing session with Lisa, if you're either in Sedona or will want to meet online for coaching offerings, then the links are in the description, and I'm sure you all will have an amazing experience and a really transformative experience with Lisa. All right, Lisa says thank you so much for being here today, and we're gonna have you back on the podcast in the next episode. I think we're gonna be talking about twin flames and the different things going on in the spiritual community that we need to have some light shed on them.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I'm very excited for that conversation as well.
Same, same. I am, like I said, deeply grateful. My heart is expanded and I got this great little buzz going on in my heart chakra.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
So yeah, thank you. This is awesome. Uh, gratitude, the words don't speak it. You know what I mean? So deep gratitude to you. This was really fun.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you so much for being here, and I
Thank
will.
you.
Yeah, I'll see you guys. I'll see you on the next episode.
Looking forward. Bye. Stay
Bye.
blessed.